All right, good morning, y'all. It's YOLO time. YOLO time. Good morning, and welcome to Coffee and Craps. Here we go. I don't know who's left in this thing, but let's get going here. I'm going to put the leaderboard up real quick so you can see who's still playing. Maybe it'll come. Let's go. There we go. We got Mike Dice, Tony, Press Regress, Mark the Point, Math Music are all up a little bit, right? Get your bets. If you have money left, get your bets in. The rest of us all have nothing, it looks like. Some people haven't played yet. Most of us are out of money, it looks like. So that's a huge ass bummer. Anyway, I'll give you a few minutes, get your bets going. I'm gonna get back to the table here and get ready to roll. And yeah, at some point here, we may have to reset everything because not everybody's playing all the time. Not everybody's here every day, but remember, 8 o'clock in the morning, we do this every day. So if you're in the YOLO, get in it. I will allow new buy-ins. So like, for example, Ian wasn't here for the original YOLO, right? Waylon never bought in. So if you had never bought in before, go ahead and get in. You can buy in right now. Table minimum, the table is gonna be $100 on the buy-in, right? You gotta be all in every roll. That's the only rules here. You gotta always be all in. So there it is, that's the YOLO. So if you wanna get in, Ian, Waylon, buy in. I'm gonna go ahead, I see some green lights coming up in there. There's Nemo's in, Jen's in, VD Elm is in. Let's get going here. I'm gonna run back to the table. I'm gonna hide this screen from you for just a second. Where is it? I'm gonna hide that one. Hold on a second. There it is. Let's hide that. Whoop, I double clicked it. There we go. It goes away. Now to the table we go. Let's get the red dice and let's see, no puck, of course. Let's see if we can make magic happen for somebody other than me. Here we go. I'm out of money. I'm rolling for the sake of, oh my God. We did it again, guys. I'm telling you what, my daily paycheck is gonna have to be lay the back wall for my entire freaking paycheck, my actual paycheck, and let myself roll a come out 7. I start every session with a 7. It's like, I don't actually, but it sure as hell seems like it. All right, here we go. Let's put that in. What a giant bummer. Wow, just come on out and booyah. 6, 1, 7. What happens to the bankrolls? Did anybody make any money over here? Let's see what happened. It's fun to watch what happens here. Let's look at the money. Mike Dice didn't play today, so he's going to be safe. What did Toby and I know Jen laid some stuff. Jen, yeah, the Crapsy code's here, Waylon. It should be there. H5, H3, R2. It's up there in the top of it. It's in the blue up there. H5, H3, R2. Anyway, let's see what happened here. Nemo's up to Nemo must have popped a bunch of crap too. What did Jen do? Jen was talking a bunch of crap yards today. She's down $68. So I'm kind of rooting against you now, Jen, since you talked so much shit to me yesterday. So there's the I'll show it to you here. Here's the totals. There it is. There is hello. That's the wrong. Why is it showing that? How weird. Really? I don't know why it should be showing my Crapsy screen. Whatever. My machine today is just acting like poo-poo. All right, let's go. I got to get a new machine in here in the garage for sure. Anyway, let's go back to the other screen. You want to see my lovely face, right? Good morning. Good morning. You'll find that there's some new looks to the screens today. I spent some time over the weekend because I got really bored, and I redesigned some stuff. So hopefully you like how things look. Oh, you had a point from the prior roll. See, you can't. You got to pay attention. Got to pay attention. Yeah, Crapsy effed up. I'm not sure. Yeah, Crapsy's okay. Who cares? The Crapsy here, ignore the point. That's why I said if you're going to play come bets or line bets, don't do it. Just every roll, all your bets got to be on. It's easier to play that way. Crapsy doesn't give us the option to do, you know, this kind of a thing. So you got to work your bets. It's a learning process. All right. I'm going to 7 out every day. Dude, I think what we got to do is I could roll a 7 every day, just put a 7 in every day, or just say my bets are all on. Just every day, just whatever you're going to just roll, bet the roll. Always have your bets turned on all the time. That's the thing to do. It's probably easier that way for you guys to manage that than to me to force a 7. So I think once we get through this, we'll do a rebuy and let everybody start over again. We'll find the kinks like that. We'll get it figured out. Okay, so there's lots and lots to talk about. I have a huge come out roll today. So it's going to take a minute to get through all the come out roll stuff. But let's get into it. First things first, Friday Night Fights last week. We couldn't get a hold of Nobo. It turns out he had an illness, like emergency kind of thing with the family member, so he couldn't do it. He couldn't get to us. He apologized over a DM. We will get the fight this Friday. He's confirmed. He's like, I'm good. I'm sorry about that. So I did talk to him. He's good. So Craig and Nobo will get to go on Friday for sure. Take 2. It'll be a real thing. I promise you. The other thing to talk about here is Nemo at 11 o'clock today, my time, 11 o'clock, I think. Maybe it's 11 o'clock. Oh, you know what? It's probably 9 o'clock here. 11 o'clock his time. Has got a premiere coming out. He's got this James Bowie knife thing. I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about, dude, but he's got some interesting, cool video he was very excited about. So let's watch Nemo. No. He says, I don't know what you're, what? Tell me what's up. You're saying, you told me yesterday you're doing some James Bowie knife thingy. Oh, 1300 p.m. Come on. Can you give me American time, please? That is 1300 Central Time is 1100 my time. So 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11 o'clock my time. Isn't that what I said? 11 o'clock my time. So yeah, all right. There it is. There's Nemo's thing. So check it out. He's super excited about it. So let's go check him out today at that time. And then the next thing is I want to remind you, of course, of my meetups. Now, I'm going to be by the way, I'm going to be at DiceCon. I'm leaving Saturday for DiceCon with Jeremy's group. There's 150 people going to DiceCon. Can you believe that? 150 people? I thought it was 120. Jen said it was 150. Do me a favor. And since you're here, we have how many people live? We got about 35 people or so watching right now. If you're going, just put DiceCon in the chat for me. I want to get a sense of from who's watching right now, who's going. I want to know who to look out for and how we can get met up. We're going to use the Casino Gaming TV Casino Locator app the whole time so we can find where people are. And I'm running a little like a Stadium Craps contest thing, and we're having some fun. So if you're going to be there, just type DiceCon in the chat so I know you're going to be. Glenn, of course, Glenn's going to be there. Jen's going to be there. That's awesome. Let me know. Again, I want to find out who's going to be where. So there's the thing. The other meetups for this, the Seattle meetup, it's me and Jeremy, Color Up. We're going to do it out here. It's going to be a co-sponsored thing. We'll probably have 25 people here. It'll be fun. We're going to go to Snoqualmie Casino, which I keep saying is like, when you get out there, you'll know it's amazing. That casino, the views from out there are stupidly cool. We think a $5 private table locked up. Ian's going to jump on that today. Our regular casino up north, the Tulalip Resort. By the way, me and Ian live about half an hour from both. Right, we're equidistant from both of those. Ian's working on a hotel room for everybody at a place called what is it called again? McMenamins. It's a town called Bothell. It's right near us. Cool. They basically turned an old elementary school into a hotel and restaurant and bar. It's awesome. We love McMenamins. So you guys can stay there and we can easily travel to both casinos. We figure a day-long session at each casino, a nighttime session probably at my house. We'll do some garage shooting out in the Pro Craps garage. We'll do some drinking in my living room, and we'll probably go to a Mariners game too. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's going to be awesome. And then, of course, the Craps for the Cure in Vegas in November. So bookmark or earmark those days in your calendar. If you can't come to Seattle, be ready for a bunch of live streams and a bunch of we'll do some trip report stuff, but we'll do lives from my house with all the guests. Like, that'll be fun. We'll just put a camera in here and yeah, so that's that. What else is happening? More come out roll stuff. Oh, there's so many announcements today. No shows next week. I'm going to be in DiceCon in Las Vegas. I plan to do some kind of a daily thing. I don't know if it's going to be a trip report. Let me ask you this. And again, I'm going to go to chat here because I want you guys to tell me, what do you want to know? What do you want me to do from DiceCon? Last year, I did these like little shorts. I did selfie camera in front of the motorcycles. It was kind of fun. What do you want? What do you want me to do from DiceCon? Do you want daily 30-second videos? Do you want me to sit and talk? Like Alfredo did a thing where he sat and talked to people, like little interviews. I can do that for sure if you want. I'm going to try and hook up with King Dice while I'm out there. I'm going to try and get over to his pizza place. I'm sure I will, obviously. If I can interview him, if we have the wherewithal to do it and the time and all that kind of stuff, I'll do that. It may just be me and him hanging out. We don't know. What else do you guys want from out there? That's what I want to know. What do you want? You want live reports? Do you want interviews? You want me to just bullshit with you? Do you want me to do nothing and just play? So, tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen. I'm bringing my computer, I'm bringing my phone. So whatever y'all want, you just let me, you drive it. Okay. That's a repeat from the last one. Let's see. When I come back, there's going to be some changes in the shows. Okay. Coffee and Craps. This show will stay where it is, 8 o'clock in the morning, my time. I'm going to move the paycheck after it. We're going to go paycheck 9 o'clock. The reason being, if it goes long, like today's a good example, right? We were about to start trying to fight back with the mind, and I ran into the time because we had to come here. So that show, I can cut this one easy. Stop us here at 8 o'clock, run upstairs to do the Coffee and Craps or the paycheck in the garage. So that's going to flip from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So it's going to be 2 hours later than it normally is. So some of you I know that's going to impact. On the East Coast, that's going to be lunchtime. So which is probably better for you. On the West Coast, that's people who are going to work at 9 o'clock. You're going to miss the show. I'm sorry, but I think it needs to be done later so it has runway to if I go long. Sorry about that. I'm going to start using Friday Follies to do two things. One is going to be we're going to test out some games. Like last week we did the golf thing. I'm going to do a darts thing. JB, Myopia Movie, told me to do like a bingo coverall type of thing where you've got like bingo cards with all the combinations of numbers on it. And then, you shoot and you kind of cross the numbers out. That'd be kind of a fun thing to do, right? Just different ways we can have fun with dice at DiceCon. I want to test them out on Fridays with you. Also on Fridays, I forgot that I had this thing and Jen maybe bring it out yesterday. I've got a Bubble Craps roller. I've got this thing here, which is a little Bubble Craps thing. And check it out. If I just do this, it'll roll dice. Here's a 1, 2, 3. Of course, 1, 2, 3. So I got a Bubble Craps roller. So on Fridays, when I do like the Bubble Craps style strategies, like when I start, I'm going to bet with that damn, I'm going to roll that damn thing. And we're going to Bubble Craps with the actual bubble dice. And we'll do that. That'll be super fun. So that'll be big show changes that I have planned for these morning sessions. And of course, we're going to get back to the focus of this show, probably when I get back from DiceCon, will be getting back to the United States of Craps. And we've got friends, California Craps Club and Jen and some others that live in California. We've got Buckeye Slim and actually Corey, both hail from Ohio, that can help me construct some Ohio style plays. And really, it's talking about this. It's like a little geography lesson too, right? I want to get your adult view on what it's like to live in the States. I don't want to do like high school geography. I want to have like adult geography. Obviously, I can do, along with DGen, Pennsylvania, right? I can do New Jersey as well. We've got a couple of folks from Maryland, Jeff and Craig. We got people who live in Illinois, Dice Grinder, right? If I can get a hold of him, we can even get Dak from 36 Full Press, who used to live in Chicago, right? Tennessee. I know somebody, you know somebody from Tennessee, which I didn't know he was from Tennessee. We have Tennessee. We have a couple of Texans in here. We got people from Kansas. We got Georgians. We can do almost all the states with just the people in this chat right now. I love doing the Missouri one. That was so much fun. So let's again, if you want to represent your state, you got to call me, right? John@procraps.net's my email. You know me in Discord. Get in Discord with me and let's figure out all of it. Okay. It's going to require that you want to be on the show one day, like Thursday or something of the week. If you can pull that off, we can talk like we did with Chiro and Dial-Net one day. So that was super fun. I love doing that. I want to keep that series going because it was fun and it's an interesting way to look at the game and just, I don't know, approach different things. So there's that. Okay, let's get back and talk real content here. So the purpose of the week is going to be looking at the 3 or 4 phase approach, however you approach the game. If you have a line bet out there, if you're going to play from the dark side, the first thing is getting set up, right? You got to get past the come out roll. So even for right side players, you have the craps numbers that you have to contend with. Dark side players got to contend with the 11 and the 7. So we're not going to cover that this week. I put it in red. We're not going to do the getting across the line thing. Different show, different day. We'll talk about line betting, a whole different series. This week, we're going to work on getting everything or getting even and getting up. Okay. When you look at a 3 or 4 step way of playing, you got to get out of the gate whatever. You get your bet spread set up, whatever you're going to do. If it's the right side or dark side, either way, get your bet spread out there and get yourself even in that hand as soon as humanly possible. That's a big piece of it, getting even as humanly possible. And you say, well, John, how do you do it on the dark side? Well, the dark side players can actually do things like weird things, but you can bet the field, right? You can go in the DC for 50 and bet the field, or 25, bet the field for 25, right? If you get lucky and you hit a field number, not a 5, 6, or 8, that don't bet travels to a number and you get paid in the field, guess what? The don't bet is paid for. You're even. The worst you can do is tie in that case. That's no different than going to the box and placing bets and doing some magical thing that gets you even and you're out of the hand. You can be out of the hand on the dark side too. You can use the field to do it. You can use some hops on the horn. You can do all sorts of ways to get yourself even as you're getting set. Be creative. This week's all about how do we get even. And I'm targeting 2 to 3 rolls at most as a way to get ourselves out of the hand and playing what I would call risk-free. Some people call it house money. Just call it risk-free. You're playing with no risk. Once you get yourself, you incur the risk early, then you're covered. You're playing without risk. And we're going to call some things out as we do it. That's going to be this week. Then you can look at locking up a goal. That's level 3. Level 4 is hammer time. If you're on the right side, level 4 is hammer time. If you're on the dark side, level 4 is max odds. Like get even, get a little bit up. Your next time out, you beat the crap out of it with odds. You can do all 4 stages from the dark side and the light side. I'm focusing light side today. Turn the light up. Oh yeah. Sorry, the light's off. Whoops, my bad. I didn't even catch that. So that's going to be the goal for you. Now today, we're going to work on, I want to recap. Yesterday we worked inside out. One way to do it was inside. I'm going to recap it here on the table for you so you can see it. We ran the squeeze play, which was some number inside, whatever that number is, probably about double what your target bet spread is. I think when you're doing any kind of, I'm going to go back one screen here, any kind of a three-phase approach, your get even step, really important to know what's your goal. What's your target spread going to be? So when we look at like the squeeze play, my target spread was 160 across. So my number outside or inside was 220. And then we grabbed the 4 and 10 with the first hit. So I'll show you again. Grab the 4 and 10, hit number 2, regress to base. And now you're at 160 across for mostly free. You got $20 invested. You got to get an inside hit first. That's a negative to that strategy. And then today we're going to work on what I call these top-heavy regressions, right? These drawdown type of things. So you've seen me do the Dallas drawdown before. It's a 4-unit play that you come down, down, and down. You end up with a target spread and some profit, which is kind of a nice little bonus to it. We'll also look today at the wedge, which is the same idea. You go out big, you draw down, draw down, draw down, and you end up at your target spread. So let's go to the table and actually examine. I'm going to re-examine the squeeze play, and then I'm going to work a little bit today on the drawdowns. We'll talk at the end of the session here, pros and cons of all that stuff. So let me get to the table. We'll do a. I'm going to zoom in first, I think, and then we'll come back and I'll do a more zoom out and we'll roll the dice view. But let's start here, okay? Walk back over here with my cup, and let's review the squeeze play. And I want to make sure that we really understand the pros and cons of this guy. So the squeeze play was 220 inside. Now you can do it obviously at way bigger levels, right? You can do 550 inside, whatever you want. Okay, let's do this. This is a good level at a $25 table. It's a lot of money, but check out what happens, right? If we roll an inside number, and again, you got to roll an inside number. That's what makes this thing like the Skill 66 hard. You got to get an inside number first, which is tough to do. I'm actually gonna. Do I need to get the light on back here? Maybe I do. Let me turn the light on. I want to make sure that we're extra visible. So give me a second here. Let's get that thing going. Boom. I love how the eyes blink at you when the light comes on. Okay, so you get $70. You take your $70 and you grab the 4 and 10. Like so. Now everything pays $70. The whole thing pays 70. Whatever number you get. So it doesn't matter. Let's just say the 4 rolls, right? That's great. 35 is going to pay 70 minus a little bit of VIG, but we'll ignore the VIG for the it's only a couple of bucks. Okay. Then what you're going to do is say, hey, take me to 160 across. That's my target play. My target play is 160 across. So here is 150 160, and all this comes down, okay? They can spread you out like so. You're at 160 across. What's back to your rack? Okay, this is the key to these things, is what comes back after you pull your move off, whatever your move happens to be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 100. There's 50. Those two are both greens. 50. You're at 200 bucks in your rack. The squeeze play works. You're 200 in the rack. You're 160 across. You started out with 220, so you're in for 20 bucks. Okay, you're still down 20 bucks after the 2 rolls, but in 2 rolls from 220, you got safe. You're playing basically risk-free, which is kind of nice. That's a squeeze play. The problem with the squeeze play is this. The first roll has to be an inside number, right? This is the problem with this one. It's the same problem with the skill 66, right? You're limiting your targets. You're eliminating 6 rolls, 6 ways to get out of this thing. That's a tough part of it. But the inside out play makes a little bit of sense. You can do it for a little bit less money than going full on the outside. All right, let's take a look at some outside plays. Now I want to move ahead. Let's remember that, right? For 220, in 2 rolls, you're out for 20 bucks. Your risk never goes away, by the way. You're at 220 risk the whole time. You're never going to not be at 220 risk. You're going to be at 220, and then you're at 220 again, and then you finally get out of it when the whole thing is over. Makes it a little bit tough. Let's look at the Dallas, or let's look at the wedge. We'll do the wedge first, then we'll do the drawdown after that. The wedge is a nice one too. The wedge goes out at 320. So, more risk than the other one by quite a bit, actually, right? 320, no small feat. It's a whole $100 extra because you get the 4 and 10 for 50. Okay, this one requires 3 hits to get out, and let's take a look at how our risk reduces as it goes. But you're still out here for 3 rolls, right? So let's say I'll roll the dice here. We'll ignore the 7s for a minute. Just want you to see what happens. So 5, 70 bucks. Okay, cool. 50, there's 70 bucks. And what you do with this one here, I'll spread the money out and I'll color up as I go. You pull down the 4 and 10 by 1 unit. You're going to leave yourself at your target weight, basically. So they go down by 1 unit. So we went out for 320. What we've got is 120 in the rack, which means our exposure is 200 bucks. So on roll 2, you're exposed actually a little bit less than the squeeze play, believe it or not. Okay, roll 1, you're more. Roll 2, you have less exposure than squeeze play. And you have all the targets, okay? Let's roll it again. There's a 10. Okay, that pays 50 bucks. Pays 50. Pull the 5 and 9 down. Again, targeting your final play. Now what we are, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're at 220 in the rack, which means you're exposed for 100 bucks on roll 3. It takes 3 rolls to get this to happen. That's the danger. The worst part about this one is that it takes 3 rolls to get you there, okay? But you're only out 100 bucks. If the 7 comes now, you're out 100 bucks. Squeeze play would have been out potentially 220 because, again, the 4 and 10 aren't part of it on the first roll. Now on roll 3 with the wedge, we get an 8, which is great. That's going to pay 70 bucks. Now check it out. There's going to be, we'll take the 6 and 8 down to our target level. And there's our rack, okay? We're at 160 across. If you take a look at where we started, it was 320. 100, 200, 320 bucks. That was our initial outlay, okay? Boom, boom, boom. You're safe. You've got 30 bucks in profit. So 3 rolls, you're totally safe. You have 30 bucks in profit and you're playing risk-free. But it takes 3 box numbers to get it done. And I told you, the average person rolls 2.5 box numbers after the puck's been set. On average, that's what you get. Getting to 3 is hard. Half the people will not get to roll 3. More than half will not get to roll 3. You're lucky. It's about 50-50. It's like 47 or 40, whatever it is. Get to roll 3 at all on the box. It's very, very hard to get 3 box hits. Not 3 rolls, 3 box hits, because again, you have horns in there. So this is risk, right? Getting 3 rolls is really tough, right? Only half the time you're going to get to this point here. But when you get to this point, you got 30 bucks and you're playing at 160 and you're off to the races. You could say, okay, technically speaking, if you want to be a grinder, there's 100, 50, 175, 190 in profit. Remember that. The wedge could be 190 in profit, not just 160 in play and 30 in your rack. So remember that. That 3 hits could be 200 bucks. If you buy in for $1,000 and you are ballsy enough to do that, you pull off 3 hits, you got paycheck. Double your paycheck, right? That's a ballsy, risky way to do it. But if you can do it, hell, that's a good way to get it done. All right, that's the wedge. It's descending levels of risk, which I like. It's 3 rolls, which I don't love. Let's do one more. Let's do something like, oh, I don't know. Let's do 480 across, okay? This is gonna be a Dallas drawdown at a 2-hit level. So check this one out. This is gonna be interesting. Now we're gonna be like, oh my God, 480. Are you freaking nuts, John? Let's take a look at what this looks like, okay? Let's do those same 3 rolls. We had a 5, a 10, and an 8. Let's put them out here. Let's keep them going. Because we got lucky. There's a 3, 2, 5. There's the 8, and we had a 10 in the middle there, right? Whatever it was, a hard 10 or something. There it is. There was our 3 rolls. Let's pretend that we got 3 rolls. But here at 480 across, let's look at our risk. 480 across, oh my God. We get a 5, pays 105 bucks. Okay, $105. We're gonna, again, put our money out here. We can count it up. And we draw down by 160. So take me to 320, please. All these come down by 1 unit. Now you're at 320. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one there. So what's in our rack? 100, 200, 50, 265 bucks in the rack. We went from 480 to 265. We cut our risk all the way down. Our actual risk here on roll 2 now is like in the 2s, like 220 something, right? That's pretty cool. You got 320 out here, but you pulled all that money back. So whatever 480 minus this is what your risk is. 480, 380, 280, 230, 215 is your risk. 215 bucks is your risk. Beautiful, right? The 10 rolls, right? That wins 100 bucks. And you pull down by 160. Give me another regression. And now you're at your target level. This is your target bet, 160. How's the rack looking, right? 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. We started out at 480 across. 1, 2, 3, 400, 75, 480, which means we have that $45 in profit and 160 across. So in 2 rolls from 480, you're playing at your goal weight, you're playing at your 160 across, plus you locked up profit. If you wanted to, again, scoop all that up and it's 205 in profit. 2 rolls. The wedge took 3 rolls to get here, right? But half the outlay, and took an extra roll to be in about the same spot. Okay, so this takes much bigger risk. Again, 480 across, you got to have at least 5K to try that. At least 5K. You're going to lose, 10 bullets. You got to have 10 bullets to get out there. And if you're going to lose a couple times, you better damn well turn this 160 into $1,000 by some aggressive play afterwards. And again, I'm not talking about what you do after this. I'm talking about getting to the 160, feeling pretty good about yourself. So that's a Dallas drawdown with a 2-stroke draw. Okay, just boom, boom, 480 to 360 or 320 to 160. That's a simple way to do the drawdown. Now, the drawdown that I like better, although I can't afford it, but I'll show you the big one, and we can do it at multiple levels. It's going to be the 640 drawdown. And I'm going to do it with 4 green chips per spot because it makes, and if I was doing this at a casino, I would caution my dealers, set me up 640 across, but set me up with greens, please. Because what's going to happen is this, the drawdown here, again, we'll take those same rolls. Okay, roll number 1 is a 5. That pays 140. 100, 25, and 40. That's roll 1. But we come down. Right, take me to 480, please. And it's nice because the numbers are easy, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is $100. 75, and there's another quarter. Again, I'll keep all this out front so you can see it. That's hit 1. Hit 2 is a 10. with 75 on it, that's 150 bucks. 125, 150, and again, draw me down. Notice how your risk is going down every single time, because check out what we are. We started out at 640. 1, 2, 3. Another green. Where are we at? On roll two. On roll two, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, 575, $610. Right? After the second roll, our risk is 30 bucks. Because you're so high up. Now on roll three, we got an 8 that pays 70 bucks. Watch. 1, 2. Okay, and we're gonna again draw down to our target number of 160 across. Now after roll 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna turn these 2 stacks of reds into greens. Let's see where we are. We start with 640. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 625, 640. That was our starting bankroll. We're playing at 160, and we got 200 bucks in the bank. The 3-step drawdown, if you can survive 3 rolls, you got 160 across and 200 bucks locked. Super powerful if you can survive 3 rolls. And again, to do that, you need 10 times that spread. You need 6,500 bucks at minimum before I'd let you try that. But that works, right? That's the cool thing. What you end up with is your spread and your spread also locked up. You lock up your first win. It's a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, if the 7 comes right now, so freaking what? You can go right back out with your profits and try it clean 160 twice in a row. You don't have to do this again. If you won the last one, that's a badass little thing right there. That's tough, right? That's a lot of money though. For most humans to play, that's a tough spread. You can do it at a smaller level. That same idea. Just got to go out at 40 bucks per spot. Like this. Okay, so it's going to be let's do 40. 40. This will be 48 on the 6 and 8, actually. So 4 units per spot. That's got to be another ba and a ba. So this is a little bit more, it's still ugly, right? You're still at 40 times 6 is 240, right? Plus the $8 on top. So you're 256 here, right? It's a lot of money, but take the same set of rolls. Let's do the same thing. The 5, right? With 40 on it pays 56, 55, 56 bucks. And again, I'll do the same thing. We'll spread them out. 56 bucks and come down by $10 on each one. So bring me down like so. Now I'm going to have to color up as we go here so you can see the numbers because it's going to be a lot of chips all over the damn place. But let's get these reds looking like greens as fast as possible. There's 5. There's 2 greens. Remember, 256 out. These whites look like a red. Right? You're at 120 back. Essentially, half your money's back on that first hit, just like in the big drawdown. Okay? This regression sucks. The next one's going to be a 10. 30 pays 60. 50, 60. Right, we'll put those out there, and we're going to come down by $10 per bet. So this kind of blows. We're going to go ahead and this is going to look now like 64 across. Oh no, there'll be $20 units across. So we're going to have to take all this down. This is going to be a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. These will come to 24. I'm going to get reds for those. 20, 20. I need one more set of reds. Okay. These become $24. Dealers will hate this, by the way. You got to do this with the reds too. $24 to the dollar change. Now, after that hit, where are we? There's 200, 25, 240, 245. After that second hit, you have no risk. You're at 256 out, you're 240 to the rack, and your last hit was the 8 or whatever. The 8 pays $28. 25, 28, and you come down and you're at 64 across. That's your target here, 64 across. Like so. Let's make the reds look like greens and the whites look like reds, and I'll tell you where we ended up. You're gonna love it. 5, there's $10 in white. 5, 25, 75, there's 100 in reds, 4 reds. So just like the big drawdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're out for 64 across. You started out with 255, 256 what you started with, okay? That's your initial bankroll, back in your rack. You've got 70, 80 bucks in profit, and you're playing 64 across. So you have your spread essentially as profit. A 3-step drawdown on the Dallas is a great little play if you can survive 3 rolls, right? And again, you need to do that 256 across. You got to have at least 2,500 bucks to play it. So these things are not for the faint of heart, right? When you do like the one hit and play, you know, 640 across, take 1 hit and take your 140 and then play 110 inside or something like that. You're taking a massive risk early on. You got to have the bankroll to sustain that. But if you can do it, and it's a big if you can pull it off, drawing down, the advantage of that is that every subsequent roll, your risk is reduced. The first roll, you're clenching. The second roll, a little bit of a clench. Third roll, you're basically out of the hand, and you can start playing for free and lock profit up. I love the drawdown way, whether it's a wedge or the Dallas style or any other way of drawing down. It's cool. You've seen probably this play too, right? 50 bucks on the don't. Let's play it. Where's my dice? Let's grab a point. Let's get up. Oh, good. The point's 10, right? And here's the wedge. This is what Chris and Greg were selling for a while, right? You can leave the 10 uncovered, get everything else going. Big spread here, right? It's going to be a lot of money. It seems like coming out. 220 inside minus the 10, of course, right? And then you can drop 150 bucks in odds down here on that 10. Not enough to cover, but enough to make some money at least, right? And we get a 10. Oh boy, good old Johnny picking off his point, right? But the idea is obviously these are going to be stable. Let's put this over here as a loss. Let's come back out and do the same thing. New point. Can I? Oh my God. Worst demo ever, right? 8 is the point. Make it look like a 10. Can we get the drawdown? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Wow. Wow. I'm gonna burn $1,000 just right in front of you doing no work at all. Aces, oh goody, we got paid back from our losses. That's nice. 4, can I dodge the 4? Do you think? Can I dodge the 4? Let's get the 8. 6. All right, that's good. 7. So what the way that this one works is you're going to get paid, and you're either going to bring both of these down, right? Pull the whole outside in, or a full level down. Either way you want to do it. But the storm. Oh, I should be back here. I should be at 150 in odds. The storm does this for a couple of rolls, right? You're going to basically pull down as much as you can. I'll put these over here because those are losses. Let's do one more roll. 9, perfect. 70 bucks, 50, 70 bucks, and we're out. Completely out of the hand. You're running for cover. You're taking your odds down. And where do we end up? I know we're going to be down because of the losses, right? But there's 100, 275. There's 50. There's 2 more 50s, right? Or 2 more quarters. So you have 400 bucks, 410, and we lost on that don't series earlier. There's 200 of it. Covers the loss. And essentially that quarter covers those 3 with $10 change. So where do we end up? Up a little bit. A little bit up, ready to play. Kind of an interesting little strategy. I think that's kind of cool. It's a drawdown with a little bit of a don't play on it. It did well actually in the paycheck. The wedge did, or the storm did really good in the paycheck. So there it is, guys. That's my shtick here on drawing down versus building up. So how do you get even in a hand? Is it better to go high 640 and work your way backwards, or better to just start at 160 and do what I call a spray and play? Just drop 160 out of your rack, sit there forever. Drop 160, sit there forever, and play it, and just maybe the dice are on your side that day. That's the typical right side elephant graveyard way to play. This way here at least has some. This one has some targeting to it at least. So, all right, let's get back over here, and I want to actually go to this screen. Let me turn that light off back there. I want to go here again, and I want to share this with you. I think this is going to make some sense. Let me go over here. And where did I put it? Where did I put it? I have a spreadsheet somewhere. Hold on a second. Let's go to Drive. I guess you can see it. Okay, so this was the opening moves. Okay, so I did this analysis yesterday, and we'll keep this going throughout the week. Here are these plays, and hopefully you can see that good enough. I'll try and zoom in one more level. All right, so the squeeze play, come on, one more level. There we go. Squeeze play, roll one. Roll one, you're 220 at risk, right? And roll one's got to be an inside number. Roll two, you're still at 220 in risk. At roll three, you're still at $20 in risk, but you got 160 in bets and no profit. Okay, so the squeeze play takes 3 hits. The first one, because it has to be inside, might take 5 rolls to get that first hit. Dangerous, right? But here's where you are, right? After roll 3, you're still down 20 bucks. On the Dallas drawdown at 480, which is a shit ton of money, right? After the first roll, you get paid. You're at 215 in risk because you brought money back and you brought your bets down. Your risk goes way down, right? After that second roll, you have no risk. You got 160 across paid for and $15 in profit. The huge Dallas drawdown, the 4-unit Dallas drawdown, it's 256 or 640. 640 goes to 340 in risk because you pulled all that money back. After that second roll, you're only at $75 exposed. You then, on the third roll, you got 160 in the rack and 150, or 150 in the rack and 160 on the felt, depending on what rolls. And the wedge, same sort of deal, right? It's 3 rolls. First roll, you're at full risk. Second roll, you're at 200 bucks in risk. The third roll, you're at 105 in risk. Still, finally, you get to 160 across and 25 in the rack. So to me, of the ways to play, if you're going to put this kind of paper out there, the 4-stage Dallas drawdown leaves you with a better situation, although you're still at massive risk on roll 2. You're at half your risk, but it's still massive bankroll size, right? And again, if this is your way of playing, let me go ahead and close this. Let me go over here. If this is your prescribed way to play, right? If you want to find a way to get quote unquote safe in a couple of rolls, and you want to do it the drawdown style way, you've got to put massive money out there and regress, and then you can play for nothing. Man alive, it is hard to get 3 rolls, right? I can show you. Actually, let me do this because I think it's important to see it because I want to sit here and lie to you. Let's go here. Let's open up my rolls. This is my actual rolls, as you know, my 5,000 rolls that I'm tracking. Look at this, please. This is the number of box hits per roll that we see. Now, again, a lot of this is me being a bad shooter, but this is pretty typical stuff, right? Look at how many times we don't get roll 3. The first 3 rows here, right? 22% of the time, 23%, we don't even see anything. No box hits, right? That means horn numbers and 7 outs early. 15%, basically, you see 1 freaking box hit. And 12%, you see 2 box hits, right? This leads me to believe that 23, 24, 37% of the time, you can't even get 2 hits. Most of the time. That's really depressing, but it's the truth. So these 1, 2 hit, 3 hit, and down type of things, you got to know the numbers. You got to know what this is, right? Getting to 3 hits, finally, it's about 50%, and above are 3 or more hits. So there's your actual numbers. So even getting to the 160, which is here, right? You still only have 40% of the time you're going to get anything more than that. It's a tough game. And that's a little bit better than random, but not by much. Maybe Alfredo and the other guys are better at this, but most people don't get more than 2 or 3 box hits in a given roll. It's very, very difficult to make money. So if you're going to go out there and say, well, I'm believing that I can do, this 3 hitting down kind of way to play. Check that at the door and make sure you got A, the money for it, and B, that you're going to, if you think you can control it, whatever. That's very, very tough to play that way. But we have to talk about it. We have to talk about ways to get even quick, right? If you want to play some spread quickly, you got to do the math backwards. If you want to get to 44 inside as your only play, what can you do to draw down twice or 3 times and land on $44? That's how you have to work this thing a little bit backwards. So I look at it like 44, add $10 to each bet, add $10 to each bet, spread them out, and that's your spread. You're going to be at $30 across the box, and then go to $20 across the box, and then regress to 44. You have to work backwards from that. So there it is. There it is. Skill says PC ASAP. What are you doing? PC ASAP. What are you saying? Whenever you're yelling at me, that means you have something important that you want to say. Well, yeah, dude. Look, here's the thing. Why am I doing that? Because the math is easy. Honestly, when I go 640 across, I can just pull the green chips down, and it's easy to deal. And I did afterwards, right? I told you, and listen to me. I told you afterwards you can do it again with 40. It's 4 units, so you can do $40, $30, $20, $10, right? 640 is easy because they're all green chips, and I can easily pull them off the stacks when I'm teaching it. So don't live on the 640, 480 thing. I'm doing it because it's easy to put 3 green or 4 green chips out there and pull them down as I'm showing you. If it's all a bunch of red chips out there, then it's a pain in the ass to deal, and you lose focus as a student on what I'm teaching. That's the reason why, Skill. That's the only reason why. Hope you understand that. I do those big things. I could have done it with white chips and just pull the thing down, but that's the reason why. I don't want to have a bunch of chips all over the damn table. It's too confusing. We were playing 220 inside to start. This was because we were demonstrating the squeeze play, which is the Casino Quest squeeze play. You can do that at a lower level for sure. You can go 110 inside and spread it out. It doesn't matter what it is. And that's why if you look at what I wrote here, and again, I'm going to refer you back one full screen. Let me go backwards here. Go back to here. The squeeze play, I say XXX inside. Okay. Why do I say XXX inside? Because it can be anything. It's all relative. If you do 110 inside, okay, 110, these all pay $35, right? If I do it like $35, you can go, you can't get it quite perfect. You're gonna go 20 here and 15 here. So this is gonna pay about $40. This is gonna pay about $30. Everything now pays about the same, $35, and you're down from this point to 44 inside, or 64 across, probably 50, 65, 64 across, and there's 100, 10, and $5 in profit. So you can do it from 110 inside, spread it out, drop down, and have 64 across. That's it's math, right? You cannot, and I will not let you fixate on the numbers that I'm showing you, or on the bet size, because the bet sizes don't matter. It's math. You just gotta, divide by 10 or multiply by 10 or whatever it is to get your spread where you want to be. So your other one says, is that it? Is that all? I missed my message earlier. Mike Dice, I missed your message. Well, put it back up, Mike. Put a PC in front of your message and then retype it for me, and I'll address it for you. They're hard to find. Let me try it. See if I can search for it. Mike Dice. Okay. Mike Dice says Lagerman is okay. You're talking about the Lagerman. Boy, you have a lot of stuff in here. 108 across, 10 on the 4 and 10, 20. Sure. you're going one hit, go up to $10. 2 more hits to regress to the minimum. Right, that different system. Right, that's the Lagerman. That's not the squeeze play. The Lagerman is, we're doing a Lagerman on Thursday, I think. Same sort of thing, right? At least with the Lagerman, you're starting out with all the numbers. At the minimum, that one, you have all the numbers covered, which is nice. And let me get my face back over here. The Lagerman is more of a skill 66 style play where it's like you start here, you go up, and then you come back, right? That's going to be what I call the up and down plays. We're doing that one on Thursday. So the Lagerman's coming Thursday. It'll be a skill 66. It'll be the 110 press. It'll be the 330, the Lagerman, all these kinds of ways to go a little bit lower, use the first hit to get higher, and then come back down. That's that. The squeeze play is more of a start in, spread out, and then come down. And these drawdowns are start way up and work your way backwards. So what I'm trying to do is give you some options on ways to get playing for free in a couple of rolls. And again, it's going to be your risk tolerance, right? Are you scared about putting 640 out there? Probably. Are you more worried though about putting out 110 or 220 and getting fried every single time, right? It takes too long to get the squeeze play takes 3 hits to work, right? You're going to get fried on that thing almost every time. So it's just tough. I think that covers it. Lagerman is the new squeeze. Lagerman's not the new squeeze play. It's their new favorite thing, but it's just a different way of approaching the same problem. Here's the thing, guys. This is so important for me to say. All of this, can I say this out loud? All of this is bullshit and all of it's the same. It doesn't freaking matter, right? I can show you 30 different ways to put between 100 and 200 bucks out on the table, right? But again, let me rephrase this, right? I can show you 30 ways to put about 100 or 200 bucks on the table and within 2 hits, getting to 64 across or 96 across, right? There's so many ways to do it. It's all the same. It's all horseshit. It doesn't matter, right? If you like the Lagerman, play the Lagerman. If you like the squeeze play the squeeze play. You like the drawdown, play the drawdown. It doesn't really matter, right? It's about your play style, right? What do you want to do with your life on the table? Because they're all the same. They're all the exact same. 2 rolls, $150 in risk or whatever it's going to be, and you're playing for your thing. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. They all suck. Every one of them is going to get beat, right? Squeeze play 220, you're going to get torched because you're going to miss the 4s and 10s. You're going to lose out. The Lagerman, you're going to get beat because you're starting out too low, right? You're going to have to go out there way higher to make that meaningful. Lagerman ends you at 64 across. You want to play at 160 on a 25-hour table? The Lagerman's going to cost you, I think it's like 290 or 270 to get out there to make it meaningful enough to play 160. Ultimately, it's a big chunk of money for a short period of time, and you got to catch lightning in a bottle. You got to make it work. You got to get lucky and get 2 or 3 rolls. And like I said, half the time, you're not going to get 3 rolls, right? 40% of the time, you're not going to get 2 rolls. You got to be super careful when you make these strategies up. And I think the one thing that Casino Quest doesn't do a good enough job of is telling you how hard it is to get 2 or 3 hits. It's so freaking hard to get 2 or 3 hits, right? It could be for anything. It could be for any size table, Mike. You can, again, level things up. It can be for any size table. The point of it is, it's so hard to get 2 or 3 hits. It's such a mountain to climb. You have no idea. You look at the math long enough, you'll see 50% of the time you don't get 3 hits, which means these strategies, they're all garbage most of the time. You're going to get torched. It's about how much do you want to get torched and what do you want to be left with on the times you aren't torched. When you make it happen, how much do you want out there? Adjust your bet size, adjust your buy-in to accommodate that. You got to make sure that that's front and center. If you don't accept the fact that you're going to torch and burn whatever your initial spread is half the time, that's what's going to happen. And I think and I've told David this too, like you got to start telling people that you're going to lose with this great strategy. You're going to lose all that money 50% of the time. No question. So there it is. You got to make sure that you're aware of that, embrace that, know it. And then here's the key. Let me go back a few screens because I think this is the other piece, this thing that I talk about it a lot, but we don't talk about it enough is this. 50% of the time you don't get to level number 3, right? Most of the time you don't get even or up, right? The half of the times that you do, right? The next two phases, locking in a goal and hammering the hot roll. That's your only hope. Those two things have got to cover all the previous losses. So you go out there 220 10 times and 5 times you lose 220, you're out $1,000. The 5 times you make the 220 turn into 160, you had better make at least $1,000. And it's hard to do. You need one of those 5 shooters now, not 10. One of the 5 shooters that you made it on has got to be a 20 roller. And you better bet it right. Super hard. Right side play is super, super hard. This is why the casinos eat on us. This is the only reason why. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I know you're fixating on the amount. Don't fixate on the amount. Fixate on the number of units. Okay. Again, $10 table size. That's what they're saying. That's the number of units for that table size. But if you're at $15 table, you got to almost double all that. 25, you got to almost triple that outlay. Remember, play it for the table size that you're on. Just be aware. Just be aware of where we stand, how hard this game is, how tough it is to make that thing work. So, and JR says systems plays aren't. They're target practice. Right? Look at Waylon's stuff. Waylon's stuff is target practice. It's like, okay, we're gonna play grab ass with the 7, and we're gonna level our bets up and down long enough so that we get the exact run that we need and we're out of here. Right? When I play a don't pass system and I'm playing like a 31 or I'm playing some kind of like a 1-3-2-4, I'm gonna grind until the thing I want to have happen happens. And I'm safe for the most part, and then we hit it and we're out. That's Waylon's play. That's my line play. That are some of these plays here where you're just going to systematize it until the thing you need to have happen happens. But these Lagermans and drawdowns and all those things, you're going to torch your money half the time. Just don't forget. Please don't forget that. Don't forget you're going to torch your money half the time. And if you hate me for saying it, but that's the truth. I'm just not going to lie to you. You're going to lose your money half the time. You better make big money on the ones you don't lose it on. And that's, again, the bane of the right side better. Let me bring enough money for 10 shooters to do my thing. Well, guess what? 5 times you're going to lose it. 3 times you're going to get one hit and make nothing on it. Maybe the 2 times you get a lucky one. You got to be lucky. And that's the truth. I'm just trying to be honest with you. I don't want to sit out here and bullshit anybody about how easy it is to win this game and how great these systems are. Every system is ass. Ultimately, they're all ass. They're all going to lose. It's about how do you want to lose and how do you want to win? Is it exciting for you to lose, and then beat one out? If you love that, do this. Do these drawdowns. Just be eyes wide open. That's all I'm saying. Be eyes wide open. Let's see. Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing. 3 hits is hard. But again, you can, if you don't care about it, and JB's a good example. JB doesn't care. Right? He said on our podcast, doesn't care. I'm gonna go, and then we're gonna freaking go. If you have the bankroll to play that way, it's all good. If you don't have the bankroll to play that way, don't play that way. And I tell people this all the time. You're buying in for $500 and you're gonna try the Lagerman or the squeeze play or whatever you want to try. You don't have enough money to do it. You got to find a better, safer way to play. Don't watch Waylon's videos if you have $500 to buy in, unless you're going to play at Bubble Craps. Don't. I mean, that's the thing you can't do. You cannot go out there and think you're going to lay the 4 for $40 or $80 and place the point for a quarter when you're buying it for $500. You're going to get smoked because you don't have enough money for it. That's the thing you got to remember. Bankroll, discipline, and know the numbers. Know your numbers. You got to know your numbers. All right. That's it, folks. It is 9 o'clock. I'm done ranting. I didn't mean to rant today, but that's sometimes what happens when you're old and cranky. So I've been through the questions and comments. I think there's no more PCs. Let me just check my PCs. Make sure I didn't miss anything important. I don't mean to yell, right? But I get passionate on this stuff sometimes. So I don't want to see people make mistakes. I don't want dangerous information out there, right? You cannot afford to play some of these things, and don't let a winning video lull you into the fact that it's good, right? It's good when it's good. It's most of the time it's not good because the dice don't want you to win. And I guess that's my final thought is that be aware of your bankroll, be aware of your risk tolerance, be aware of your discipline. If you have any, if you don't, get some, and be aware of what the dice do. Be aware of these numbers. When I give you statistics, trust them. They're right. Most people, half the time, do not make 3 rolls. Make 3 points or 3 numbers. That's the number. That's the thing. It's not the number of rolls. You can roll, the average person rolls 8.5 times. 2.5 times, I can't make a half, 2.5 times, they're box numbers after the points being set. 8.5 rolls seems like a lot, but it's come out garbage. It's setting the point. It's 7ing out. You're going to get 3 or 4 of those rolls are shit. They don't even count for you because you're not betting on them, right? When the box is on, horn number, 2 box numbers, and they're 7 out. That's what happens all the damn time. And you sit there on the Loggerman or you sit there on the squeeze play and you go, fuck, that should have worked. Guy rolled 8, 9 numbers and it should have worked. It doesn't always work. There it is. Be careful, play smart. I should give everybody's tagline. What does Ken say? Be great. What is, I don't know. I forget the taglines now. Rack the black. Chips in a rack don't come back. All the things, right? Do all that. Please listen to everybody. We're all giving you good advice. That's it. Happy Tuesday. I'm out. I'll see you later on. I'm gonna debut a strategy today with a friend of mine. We're gonna go live together later on today. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. So join me about 4 o'clock my time, thereabouts, and we'll do a little half hour, 45 minutes of play time with a brand new strategy. So I'll see you there. Y'all have a good one. Thanks again for watching, and God bless. See you in the next one. Bye.